designated road team. Guy Civitello, two-time SWAC Coach of the Year, is the manager. Karsten Wittemeyer in the batter's box, set to lead things off. Jason Mosley, two-way talent for Georgia, on the bump, and a must-win for these guys. Wittemeyer has gone 2 for 5 with a couple of RBIs through the first 2 days of action. North Carolina, Florida, Kansas, and California, the unbeatens, as this is skied into right field. And the catch made for the first out. Beckett Brown puts it away.
Next up, center fielder number 5,
So
Jackson
Wittemeyer
Haynes.
flies out. And here comes Jackson Haynes batting second in front of Tommy Sekretarski, Newburn, Williamson, Brennan, Dancer, Niddle, and Ellis. The rest of the starters for North Carolina, wearing that Tar Heel blue that we saw not long ago here in Omaha, runner-up this year in the Men's College World Series. And the North Carolina starting lineup presented by Stinger Sports. That just misses outside.
Chase Mosley on the mound for Georgia. Georgia Southern commit, class of 27, for the right-hander.
Georgia, after dropping 17 runs on Oregon in their first game, held to just 1 run yesterday. There's a base hit into right field for Haynes. 1 out single.
Good piece of hitting by Haynes. Open up some base runners for North Carolina. There you see Chase, the Georgia Southern commit. Jackson Haynes at first base, Providence High School attendee, also a rising senior.
Sekretarski, 2 for 3, has homered, so he already gets to take home that Stinger bat. It's part of the incentive of hitting home runs in this event. You get to keep some of the Stinger gear that all the hitters are using. Stinger batting gloves and Stinger bats. Close play, he's out. Haynes picked off, 2 down.
Yeah, you could see Haynes leaning before the throw goes over, and just the timing. Watch the lean. You see there, he got him on the leap. You see a lot more of that nowadays with the younger players. They try to get that hopping lead. Not that that was necessarily one of the exaggerated hopping leads that we see at the prep level sometimes, but that was just a perfectly timed throw by Mosley to get him as he was taking one more step towards second, and he erases the first base runner of the game.
So 2 outs, base is empty, 2 strikes. Yeah, Mosley misses upstairs with a fastball at 90.
Yeah, how about that? 5'10", just casually throwing 90 here to open things up. Nice easy motion for Mosley.
And strike 3 here to Sekretarski. So because of that pickoff, Mosley winds up facing just the minimum here. North Carolina nothing, Georgia coming up. Starting lineup presented by Stinger Sports. Ryan Page, a 2-time state champion head coach, leads Team Georgia into a pivotal clash with North Carolina. Going Winbush, Mosley, Biondo, Fontenot, Sapp, Stevens, Burse, Brown, and Snow. And for Georgia, Rob, playing their second game here at Tal Anderson Field after that 2-run loss to Florida yesterday. So they should be very familiar with not only the playing surface, but just the all-around surroundings at this ballpark, unlike North Carolina, having played its first 2 games elsewhere.
Yeah, so Will Parrish, you see slipping as he delivers his warm-up pitches, has to get used to this mound for the first time. Infielders, we've talked about too, it's a bouncy turf. We've seen a lot of ground rule doubles bounce over the wall. on one hop, and the infielders have to stay back on some balls sometimes as well because that extra hop in front of them may be a little higher than they want. You saw Will Parrish, the NC State commit from Charlotte Christian, on the bump for North Carolina.
His first one to Luke Winbush is high and outside. Winbush, the shortstop, 4 for 6, couple doubles and an RBI for Georgia. 17 runs on 14 hits in their first game, but just 1 run on 3 hits yesterday as Winbush out in front of it. Hits it foul, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, Winbush, 4 hits through the first 2 games for the Troy commit. We talked about it yesterday as well. Troy, of course, appearing in this year's. We mentioned North Carolina was here. Troy was here as well. His future school making their first appearance in Omaha at the College World Series a couple weeks ago.
Go, Will.
Curveball hits him, and Winbush aboard.
Can hear the Georgia dugout trying to create a little environment here at Tal Anderson Field.
Up next, the pitcher, number 8, Chase Mosley.
Chase Mosley. That's what pitchers usually do when they're asked to get in the batter's box, although with Mosley batting second, he's 1 for 1, came on as a pinch hitter late yesterday and picked up a knock.
Yeah, and you saw Winbush square early too, so I wonder if Georgia thinking small ball already, knowing how well this North Carolina staff has pitched.
That misses outside. It's 1-1 on Mosley.
Again, North Carolina just 2 runs allowed in their first 2 victories here in Omaha.
Winbush on the move as Mosley fouls it back. The humidity not quite where it was the first 2 days of this event. It's 87 degrees as we play on with the middle game today, and humidity of 67%. It was around 80% last couple of days. A little less muggy out there. As Mosley lifts one foul. That's out of play as well.
Good news, Chris. I did hear on the drive into the park this morning, too, though, that we are going to see some heat indexes around 100 tomorrow for the 4th of July. So that'll be fun.
I take it you listened to weather on your way in, huh?
Just the news. Oh, you weren't doubting me. You were just Glenn's disappointed. Glenn Sisk, our statistician here. He's not doubting what I heard. He's just disappointed that I brought that up.
Winbush dancing off the bag at first, and that causes Parrish to step off. Parrish headed to NC State, where he'll play for Chris Hart, who was named the head coach after Elliott Avent's retirement at the end of 30 seasons at the helm. That was one of the big storylines in college baseball towards the end of the season this year. 2-2.
Also an interesting way for Elliott Avent to bow out of coaching.
Yeah.
His final game.
It was a pitch clock violation.
Yeah.
Ended his career. That breaking ball fouled back. That being said, I think a lot of people were surprised that NC State even got in.
That's true.
One of the higher RPIs among at-large teams.
Speaking of a team from Georgia that probably should have been in, Mercer left out of the field.
Mercer top 30 in the RPI and got left out. 2-2. And nearly a wild throw to first. Newburn able to dig it.
Yeah, that wasn't even a short hop. That was a full 4 or 5 feet in front of Newburn over there. So that was a athletic play by the first baseman to keep it in front.
To right center field. And caught out there for the first out as Wimbush has to hurry back to the bag. Brody Brannon running down the fly ball off the bat of Chase Mosley. And it brings up another Georgia Southern commit in Daniel Biondo, the catcher. Our Squares player to watch.
Future teammates getting to play together here in this all-star roster put together. They come up from Georgia to Omaha for this event. That was a nice at-bat for Mosley. I know it didn't result in any movement on the bases or a base knock, but it was just a well-fought battle. He saw a lot of pitches, and then you saw him communicating with his teammates as he went to the dugout, telling them what he saw in that at-bat.
Biondo 2 for 6 with a homer and 5 RBIs. Hit that home run against Oregon 2 days ago. We had Oregon and Colorado to start the day here. And Colorado walked off Oregon 5-4 in the bottom of the 7th.
Biondo with a pair of extra base hits in this event.
Just inside with a fastball. It's Aaron Christians calling balls and strikes. Jason Harstick is your field umpire for game 2. And that's to the gap. Right center field. Brannon won't get this one. On 2 hops out to the fence as Wimbush gets the windmill. And Georgia strikes first on the Daniel Biondo double.
Biondo drive this one to right center. Nice cut, stayed back on it. You see Brannon where he started, he's really giving that gap a lot of space as he's playing closer to the line, not quite straight up in right field. So that allowed even more space out in the gap. Even if he had been playing straight up, I think Biondo hit that well enough that it would have gotten to the fence and scored the first run. Got a courtesy runner out at second base there for the catcher.
Oh, the quick start that Georgia needed after they were held to just 1 run yesterday on 3 hits. They've got a run on 1 hit here, cashing in that leadoff walk. And here's Bryce Fontenot, the cleanup hitter. It'd be interesting to see how these head coaches manage at 2-0, because you're already kind of in the driver's seat, but 3-0, you really solidify yourself in that top 8. We know that Georgia needs this one. That's Bryce Fontenot. Takes high and inside, the Cherokee Bluff High School product. 2 for 6, 3 RBIs through 2 games here. And upstairs, ball 2.
Well, yeah, and you talk about that too. Obviously, at 3-0, you're going to advance. We all know that. But the 2-1 teams will have to battle it out through the tiebreaker, and it's runs allowed is one of the highest ranking tiebreakers. And right now, North Carolina sitting there very nicely. Just that was just the 3rd run they've allowed in 3 games. So if they don't come out on top here, you like their chances if they can keep Georgia off the board beyond a handful of runs.
Two balls and a strike on Fontenot, the Georgia cleanup hitter. That is popped up right side of the infield. It's Dancer, the second baseman, 2 down.
In on the hands of Fontenot, the delivery from Parrish.
The third baseman, number 6, Trip Sapp.
Trip Sapp, third baseman, will bat now.
You saw Sapp ask for time. Wasn't granted it initially. And now trying to get on the same page. The catcher asking the pitcher to engage. Home plate umpire Aaron Christians getting everybody settled in there.
Upstairs with the first one to Sapp, who's 1 for 5 with an RBI and a walk. Outside. Trip Sapp from Loganville, class of 2028.
Williamson wanted to go out to talk to Parrish. They want to make sure they're on the same page with pinch runner for Biondo out at second base. That's Bryce Floyd, the courtesy runner for the catcher. Courtesy runner, nice feature in the high school game. You get your catcher off the field. Don't make him run, especially in this heat. Have him get his gear back on so you can keep the game moving a little quicker.
Ball 3. Asher Stevens would be next. And it's a walk. Second of the inning. To put 2 on for Stevens. Asher Stevens is 2 for 5. Has knocked in a run and hit by a pitch. Uh-oh, it got Aaron Christians as well.
Wow.
And the bases are loaded.
So yeah, you hit Luke Winbush with a curveball to start the game. And now his second hit by pitch of the inning. Let's see how it clips the ump after it gets, just on the leg there. Oh. Or not quite the leg.
Well, bases loaded here for Georgia. And Omari Burse is due up next. Chance to make this a big start for a team that needs to find the win column.
It's a hot day, thankfully, out there. The breeze is pretty stiff. You can see the flags are pretty tight out in the left field, blowing out. So, warm day for the umpires back there. This is their second game worked in this event. Aaron Christians and Jason Harstick trading positions here, and there you see it. So the wind helpful out there on the field, but of course the turf pretty toasty out there on a typical July day here in Nebraska. Yeah, thankfully there's a smile from Aaron Christians behind the plate in blue. Although umpires mostly wear black now. You call them blue, but they're mostly in black, it feels like. Can't change the baseball vernacular. No, they're always going to be blue.
So Christians back behind the dish. And Omari Burse, the 7th Georgia batter of the inning. Takes low. Burse at second base again, 1 for 5 in the tournament with an RBI and 2 runs scored. Outside corner.
Yeah, Parrish with some control issues, a couple of hit by pitches in the walk. Really, even watching him in warm-ups, never looked like he's felt comfortable on this artificial surface. The mound here at Tal Anderson just hasn't got his footing where he wants to land.
Uh-oh, another one. And the base is loaded, hit by pitch, makes it 2-0. Will Parrish having trouble with his command in this first inning. Between the walks and the hit batsmen, 4 free passes.
Yeah, so you see some conversations going on in the North Carolina dugout, not what you would have expected from the NC State commit on the mound for North Carolina, still trying to find his location. We've seen this a couple times throughout the tournament, though, Chris, that teams have been slow to get their feel on the mound, but then settled in after a first inning.
Beckett Brown swings and misses through the first one. Brown getting the start in right field is looking for his first hit, 0 for 5 with a run scored.
Parrish opened him up with a changeup that he was out in front of, comes back with a fastball, and has Beckett Brown down 0-2.
Bouncer foul outside the bag at first.
The Browns high school teammates with Asher Stevens, who's out there at second base, the starting center fielder. So a couple of Gainesville high school outfielders in this one for Georgia.
Brown waves and misses. And Georgia leaves them loaded, but they do score twice in the bottom of the first.
In the bottom of the first for Georgia, 2 runs.
One love.
Inning number 2 as we peep the Georgia defensive alignment presented by Stinger Sports. No Stevens Brown in the outfield. Fontenot, Burse, Winbush, Sapp. First to third base along the infield, and Chase Mosley pitching to Daniel Biondo. Mosley will be pitching with a 2-run lead after his offense got him a couple in their half of the first inning.
Yeah, how cool is it to see future teammates as battery mates here? Chase Mosley and Daniel Biondo headed to Georgia Southern after high school next year.
North Carolina. First baseman number 10, Colton Newberg.
Mosley out of Troup County High School. Biondo, Denmark High School.
Colton Newbern bats cleanup, headed to East Carolina to play for the Pirates. He's our Squares player to watch. In Greenville, North Carolina. East Carolina American Conference champions this year. A couple years removed from hosting a regional that was won by Evansville, who would go on to play the eventual national champion Tennessee.
East Carolina is one of those programs, too. You just keep waiting for them to break through and get to Omaha.
A foul ball there. It's 2-2.
We're seeing the full array of pitches here through the first inning plus from Chase Mosley on the mound.
Did you know Mike Trout was committed to East Carolina before he was drafted in the first round by the Angels and didn't wind up playing college baseball? That's the second strikeout for Chase Mosley.
I was not aware of that as a non-Angels fan. I was not
Wow, sounds glorious.
to be a non-Angels fan.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you choose your team. I like that you've established and not bailed on your team.
You really can't, man. Like, you really, like, no matter how much you try to program yourself to be a fan of it, I mean, it just sticks with you. Now, if you have, like, a family member or a good friend that plays on a team, then I think, or if you're employed by a team, right? I mean, those are ways that you can kind of change your thinking, but, I mean, you just like what you like.
What about if a franchise moves out of your hometown?
Now, that's tough. I have a lot of friends in Oakland that they've lost the A's and the Raiders.
Yeah.
That is tough.
Well, as a St. Louis native, my first NFL game I attended was the St. Louis Cardinals. So I've lost 2 NFL teams. Of course, we stole LA the first time for the Rams, but 2 NFL teams have left my hometown in my lifetime.
One, two. Reached for. Back up the middle. Winbush on the second base side of the bag. Throws out Williamson. Dazzling play. 2 outs.
Yeah, we've seen Winbush a couple of games now here at Tal Anderson Field. At the plate and in the field has impressed. The Troy commit. Look at him going all the way over to the second base side, making that throw from basically where the second baseman starts that play. It's play by the shortstop from Georgia.
2 down. And here's Brody Brannon. Brannon, the right fielder for North Carolina. He is 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI. Brannon from D.H. Conley High School. 6'3", right-hand batter, class of 2027. And hits it hard on a bounce. Burst knocks it down, picks it up, doesn't have a play. Oh, a hot shot that came off the bat at 95. It took Burst down to a knee, and it bounced out of his glove. And with the speed of Brannon, it's an infield base hit here for North Carolina.
I'm not sure if Burst wanted to go to the ground. Let's see if he lost his footing. Yeah, that step as he saw that ball going to his left, he lost his footing to try to go get the ball. That's ruled a base hit for Brannon.
Gives way to Luke Dancer here with 2 outs. Dancer committed to play for the Dayton Flyers. Class of 2027 out of Charlotte Catholic. One and 2. In the air to shallow left. Winbush is out. Called off by Snow. And he squeezes out number 3. 2 out knock for Carolina, but that's all. 2-0. Back at the Stinger High School Baseball National Championship Series, it's time to take a look at the North Carolina defense presented by Stinger Sports. Whittemire, Haynes, Brannon in the outfield, Sekretarski, Niddle, Dancer, and Newbern make up the Carolina infield, and Brady Williamson catching Will Parrish, who's hoping to have some better command here in the second. A very laborious first inning, faced 8 hitters.
8 hitters, 28 pitches, only 13 of which were strikes. A couple of hit batters, actually 3 hit batters in the opening frame. So fortunate that only 2 runs scored despite facing those 8 hitters and struggling with that control. See if the NC State commit can settle in a little bit better here in the second inning.
Andrew Snow, batting 9th for Georgia, will lead off. 2 for 5 in the series with an RBI. We saw Snow catch the final out in the top half of the inning. Out of Mary Persons High School in the class of 27 as he socks one into right center field, but it hangs up for Haynes. And he catches the first out.
An encouraging sign for the right-hander from North Carolina to retire the first batter of the inning. Now back to the top of the order. Luke Winbush, who started the game with a hit-by pitch. First of 3.
Back up the middle, a hot shot, 98 off the bat of Winbush. On base for a second time.
Chase Mosley.
Jumping on that first pitch fastball, turning it around and sending it right back through the box. Almost got a glove on it, did Parrish, but you mentioned it, 98 off the bat. That's pretty hot.
Chase Mosley, the pitcher for Georgia. Flight out to right field his only time. That's upstairs.
We saw Winbush, after he reached in the first inning, go on a couple of pitches during Chase Mosley's long at bat. Not a big lead, but wouldn't be surprised to see him go again.
Winbush trying to steal second, and does.
Just the way he sets himself up at first. A short leadoff, but angled like he's going to go on every pitch. It's an interesting way to lead off, but you see him there, opened up, his hips open a little bit so he has that quick burst to get going. Had a chance to get him out, did Williamson. That throw tailed into the runner on the second base side, so a stolen base for Winbush.
Breaking ball low and away. It's 3-1 here on Mosley. It's a walk, already the third issued by the Carolina starter Will Parrish. And more traffic here for Georgia, 2 on for Biondo.
And tried to come back with the 3-1 breaking pitch. And missed high and tight to his counterpart, the pitcher, Mosley.
Biondo doubled home the first run as he bounces one to short. 6-4, 3 double play. And it's 2-0 after 2. The Stinger High School Baseball National Championship Series is presented by Raising Cane's One Love, by Stinger Sports, and by Squares. Omaha, Nebraska, on the eve of America's 250th Independence Day. Chris Sylvester, Rob Sims, our producer Jeff Schneider, Kim in the director's chair, Kim Guillot directing the ball game, and William Bellina up here in the booth. Did we get the last name right, Will? Close enough, Polina. They didn't. Nichols doesn't have a track and field pronunciation guide readily available. Kind of feels like the Southland here in Omaha this week with our crew coming from the Thibodaux, Louisiana area, and for a good chunk of this tournament, we've been getting southern vibes from the weather here in Omaha.
turn the humidity up a little bit to welcome the southern teams in the Midwest, although it's underrated humid here in the Midwest. You don't realize it until you show up. The College World Series a couple weeks ago had unseasonably amazing weather for our visitors throughout that event. But now it's warmed up to more of a typical summer experience in the Midwest. But you see the fans behind the plate braving it. Some smart fans brought the umbrella to hide from the sun.
Rook Niddle leading off the Carolina third. Takes a fastball 87 from Mosley. Niddle, Ellis, and Whittemire. 8-9-1 for North Carolina. 2 hits through 2 innings, but no runs. Over the inside.
You can see the way Niddle reacted. He's close to the plate, so that felt like it was further inside than it was. That definitely got the inside part of the plate.
And to right field. Leadoff single.
Good adjustment by Niddle. Saw the previous pitch on the inner half. Raised his hands, felt like it might have been inside. This time he was looking for that inner half pitch and turns on it easily to lead off the third.
Here's Caleb Ellis with Trip Sapp anticipating a potential sacrifice bunt. Yeah, Mosley tossing on to first base.
We saw Mosley with the pickoff of Jackson Haynes in the first inning, trying to erase another base runner with the pickoff himself this time.
Ellis, a UNC Greensboro commit from Grace Christian High School in the class of 27.
Got a couple of hits through the first couple of wins for North Carolina. 2-1 over Missouri, 13-1 over Colorado yesterday.
We will see Missouri in the finale of games here today, coming up at 4 o'clock Central, taking on Florida.
Let's go, Caleb.
2-2.
Got the chase. Up 2-1, and you still chase. That tells you how good of a pitch that is from Mosley. Breaking pitch in the dirt away. Got the swing and a miss.
Reached for, and over the outstretched glove of Winbush into center field. Carolina with 2 on, and nobody out.
That's a good pitch and even better piece of hitting. Caleb Ellis there. Watch this. This is well off the plate. I mean, well off. And he just goes and gets it, serves it into center field.
That sets the table for the top of the order.
See what kind of bunt potential and bunt defense we may see. See Fontenot creeping in.
It is foul.
Fontenot creeping in, Sapp staying back, it looks like. That means their third base side will be Mosley's to handle if they keep the bunt on.
Whittemire, uncommitted in the class of 27 from Laney High School. And hit right on that elbow guard. Carolina has loaded the bases.
Well, that's why you wear it, right? Get that elbow, put that elbow in harm's way, and instead you get clipped on. When did that become? You know, you think back about Barry Bonds used to have a massive arm guard. Who before Barry Bonds made that a thing? Nonetheless, it's prevalent in baseball now across all levels.
I'll tell you, not enough pitchers went high and tight on Barry Bonds. They gave him a lot of good stuff to hit over the years, and when they didn't, they would intentionally walk him. They used to have all those little chickens in San Francisco that they'd hang on the right field wall every time Barry was intentionally passed on.
Yeah, those couple of seasons he put together were otherworldly video game numbers. Not just the home runs, but the walks. Mosley cruised through the first 2 innings, but now a couple of singles and a hit by pitch. The undefeated North Carolina team looking to dent the scoreboard.
Jackson Haynes. Close miss.
Yeah, that's a nice changeup to start the at-bat. Even if it's not a strike, now you potentially open the chance to put a fastball by him.
Bouncing ball, base hit right field. Niddle scores, Ellis behind him, and the other 2 runners will move up 90 feet with the throw to home plate way late. Carolina pulls even.
Yeah, tried to sneak a fastball by him after setting him up with the changeup, but Jackson Haynes all over it for his second hit in as many at-bats. Yeah, the throw from Brown, not only does it go home, but it sails well over the cutoff. And Haynes, fantastic base running, never broke stride around first base and ends up at second on the throw to the plate.
Tommy Sekretarski now, as Mosley delivers outside. 3 hits, a hit batsman in the inning. And Carolina now looking for a lead. Sekretarski, a strikeout victim back in the first. One of 2 strikeouts that Mosley has in his 2+ innings. Foul back.
Sekretarski headed to Penn in the Ivy League out of Asheville High School.
Swing and miss. Biondo has to toss it down to first, just gets it there in time. A big strikeout from Mosley to get the first out here in the 3rd.
Yeah, it got the help. It hit the umpire, Aaron Christians. If it does not hit Christians in the feet, I think that's a run scoring, and Sekretarski reaches base. Biondo did a really good job of, once he collected the ball too, he gave a look at Whittemire, and that was enough to hold Whittemire at third, unable to score on the throw down to first.
Here is Colton Newbern, cleanup hitter for Carolina, struck out his only time. East Carolina commit. 1 ball, 1 strike. In tight, got a piece of the jersey. And the bases are loaded again.
5 hit by pitches now between these two starting pitchers in this ball game. 3 by Will Parrish, now 2 in this inning from Chase Mosley.
Brady Williamson, outside corner.
You see him immediately shaking his head. Whether it was a strike or not, it was a pitch he wisely laid off of. Weren't going to do much with that high and away breaking pitch. Did not get cheated on that one. Productive out you're looking for from your catcher here. Runner at third and less than 2 outs. A lot of ways to get this run across. Obviously you want more, but you want to have production if you're not going to get a base knock.
Struck him out swinging. 2 outs.
Yeah, just what Mosley needed there. Prevented the productive out with the breaking pitch away. Waved on by Williamson, and he can't get the job done. Can Brody Brannon now with 2 outs push across the go-ahead run?
Brandon, an infield base hit his last time. See if he gets something good to hit here. Carolina has tied it with 2 in the third.
Well, 2-0, you can hunt the pitch that you want to swing at.
Ball 3.
What do you think, a green light or no? All-star event. Let it rip? We'll find out.
Yeah, if you get a pitch you love,
it's
why
there.
not? Nope. 4-pitch walk, and Carolina in front on the bases loaded free pass.
Didn't even have to make the decision if he wanted to swing or not at that one. Up and in, way away from the zone, and pushes across a run.
So a 3-spot here in the third, and Carolina is now batted around as Luke Dancer becomes the 9th player to hit. Dancer flied out to left field back in the second. And Mosley, after looking sharp through 2 innings, has just not been able to find his command with 2 hit batsmen and a walk in this inning.
Is some activity down in the Georgia bullpen beyond the left field wall.
Their activity is one way to describe it.
It is. They're getting loose.
With a football.
Yeah, the football is, honestly, it's interesting how it has become a part of pitchers' routines. And there you see J.R. Hoffman. It's like, okay, I've thrown enough with the football, and now it's time to get the glove on and go back to the KJ Pearl.
I had a coach in high school advise pitchers to throw basketballs.
Interesting. Never heard that. Dancer
to center, but right at Stevens, who has to reach up and make the catch. 99 off the bat. Carolina strikes for 3. They're in front for the first time today. North Carolina striking for 3 runs in the top of the third. A 1-run lead over Georgia as we embark on the bottom half of the inning. North Carolina 2-0, Georgia 1-1 on the final day of bracket games before we figure out who the top 8 are tonight, determining our quarterfinal quadruple header tomorrow here at Tal Anderson Field. Will Parrish has yielded 2 runs through 2 innings against Georgia, but just watched his offense net him a lead.
Yeah, so pitching with the lead, the NC State commit, the big right-hander. Yeah, those top 8 teams back here tomorrow. That'll all be figured out after this afternoon's games. And then those top 8 teams with the chance to advance to the semifinals and championship games that will be played at Charles Schwab Field, the home of the College World Series, on Sunday.
Bryce Fontenot takes that breaking pitch for strike 2.
Talking about the College World Series, for the longest time, Creighton was the host institution for the College World Series. Now we are on the campus here with this game at University of Nebraska Omaha. They are also a co-host now with Creighton. So the teams practice over here. As part of that, Creighton, with their new baseball practice facility too, opened up this June, was able to host some practices for this year's College World Series.
And to right center field, base knock for Bryce Fontenot to open up the Georgia third.
And there you see that springy turf again here at Tal Anderson Field, as Haynes had to jump for that one to make sure it didn't skip over him. Watch this ball, 93 miles per hour off the bat, take a big jump, and Haynes all over it.
So Georgia now with 3 hits against Parrish. And here's Trip Sapp. Dropping down a bunt. Fielded in fair territory. And Sekretarski throws him out. But sack bunt advances Fontenot to second.
All right, I got to be honest, Chris. Off the bat, that looked so good. I would have probably just let it go if I was Sekretarski. Is hugging the line, but man, not only does he field it, throws a strike, and really good job by Niddle at shortstop to hustle over to third to prevent Fontenot from going first to third on that bunt, with a great play by Sekretarski.
Now it's Asher Stevens. Stevens plunked his first time.
Parrish trying to get on the same page with his catcher Williamson. Obviously with the runner at second base too, you've got extra signs to be given.
Breaking ball, that's fair. Into the left field corner. Georgia has tied it on an Asher Stevens double. 92 off the bat, and he yanked it right over the bag at third.
You can see Williamson disagreeing. Sekretarski also at third base. Didn't believe that was a fair ball. Not a lot of argument or discussion from the the first base dugout, North Carolina, who would have had a good look at that too. Instead, we'll have a mound visit from Team North Carolina.
So after watching North Carolina surge in front with 3 in the top of the inning, Georgia comes back quickly and evens the score on their second RBI double as a team. And this isn't a mound visit as much as it is an argument.
Yeah, I said it wasn't going to be a discussion, but
they're going to get together here, or maybe not. He was calling the catcher back. I thought he was calling his partner over to see if there was a second opinion.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure if it was an argument as much as it was just a discussion of what did you see? Can we, obviously we're not having replay at this event, but maybe just tell me where you saw the ball cross and why you thought that was a fair ball. So, it was tight. Well, now we maybe get some more discussion from the dugout. That's not so polite as it looked on the field.
Here's Omari Burse. Low and away with a 90-mile-per-hour heater. Burse hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. Part of Georgia's 2-run first inning. Slow bouncer, foul.
We mentioned it in our broadcast of this Georgia team yesterday. Burse from Benedictine Military headed to UAB after he finishes high school next spring. Think about where these two teams are made up from, in the heart of SEC, ACC country, and all the good baseball players that come out of that region. Power conferences in the sport of baseball.
Headed to Birmingham, Alabama to play for the Blazers at the next level. Alabama had a good year in college baseball. Auburn was a national seed. Alabama made it to Omaha. Troy made it to Omaha. Makes you wonder how the old Birmingham Barons are doing.
And get the balk call from the home plate umpire. I thought I saw that initially too. Aaron Christian's calling that, recognizing. Watch on the kick, his foot comes down almost straight back down. Watch where his foot comes down. Yeah, and then he tries to swing it around to go behind him. And that's what makes it a balk call there. And now the infield drawn in with 1 out for North Carolina.
Infield drawn in on 3-1 to Omari Burse. Hit hard, stopped by Niddle, and the runner stays put at third on the second out of the inning. That was 96 off the bat. And with Niddle playing on the edge of the infield grass, that wasn't easy for him to stop.
No, you see him get really low, too, to smother this. He wasn't able, because it was such a rocket shot, wasn't able to get himself around it, in front of it, as he would have liked to, because of the 96 off the bat, but he got really low and made a nice play at shortstop.
Beckett Brown struck out back in the first.
Change-up from Parrish to get Brown out in front of that pitch.
Fouled back 2-2.
You can tell the depth of these lineups. Doesn't drop off. Obviously, these are some of the best players from the state put together, and so you wouldn't expect much drop off in a 1 through 9 in this type of event.
Breaking ball stays high. Full count. Andrew Snow on deck.
Beckett Brown's Gainesville High School teammate Asher Stevens at third base, trying to get him in.
Backdoor. A generous strike 3 call sets down Beckett Brown. Georgia ties it 3-3 after 3. Tied at 3 here, North Carolina and Georgia. To the top of the 4th inning, Ryan Page, Team Georgia manager, joining us from the dugout. And after watching Carolina take the lead, your offense comes right back to tie the game. And obviously it's important being 1-1 here and trying to get to 2-1 and make the final 8.
Absolutely. This is a big game for us. Obviously, they're sitting in a much better spot than we are, so we've got to have today. So we'll do everything we can to get this dub.
Coach, obviously you have a talented lineup up and down, 1 through 9. Talk to us about the state of how good high school baseball is throughout your state.
Well, like every other state, we feel like we play the best baseball, and we obviously got the PG events and the PBR events, all the World Hub of baseball there. So, we feel like we got a lot of good players there, and it's hard to pick just 19 or 20 of them, but we feel pretty good about our players in the state of Georgia.
Coach, we appreciate your time. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the way.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
All right, checking in with Ryan Page, who has won more than 70% of his games as a high school coach in the state of Georgia. 5 straight 25-win seasons. Now trying to lead this Team Georgia squad into the quarterfinal round tomorrow. 0-2 pitch on a hop to Fontenot down at first, and he beats Whittemire to the bag.
Well, and he mentioned something we discussed on our broadcast with this Georgia team yesterday. Atlanta is truly one of the hotbeds, if not the hotbed of high school baseball, just because Perfect Game Home started there. They still have events weekly down there at their complex, Lake Point, and then PBR with their new facilities down there too. Just week in, week out, some of the best talent. If you're a college coach, you could just hunker down in Atlanta all summer and come away with a great recruiting class because of the talent from around the country that goes and plays at all of those events.
87 on the outside to jump in front, 0-2 here. Jackson Haynes has had a big day, 2 for 2. 2-run single his last time, and Carolina's 3-run third. As he reaches for that one. Tough play for Winbush, and not in time. Haynes is 3 for 3.
Yeah, the way that he had to reach for that one didn't put a lot on it, so it was going to take a lot for Winbush. Didn't have the time to make it happen, even though Winbush tried his best, made a great play.
1 on, 1 out for Tommy Sekretarski, who has struck out twice against the Georgia starter. Pounded to the gap. Stevens won't get there. Up over the wall. It's an automatic double, which will prevent Haynes from coming around for now.
Thought that one might have landed far enough in front of the wall that it would get a kick off the wall. Instead, we did a weather check between innings too. The real feel here in Omaha right now is 105 with the humidity on top of 89. So this turf is heating up. But watch this spring in front of the warning track and right over the Omaha Mavericks O in left center.
98 off the bat. Carolina threatening again. Second and third for Colton Newbern. Takes the fastball away. Newbern has struck out and been hit by a pitch. Carolina up to 7 hits on the game against Chase Mosley. Over the inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 88 on the fastball. Newbern headed to East Carolina and takes ball 2. Smashed into right field. Headed towards the warning track at the wall and off the wall. It brings home 2. Stumbling around the bag and retreating to second. It's a 2-run double.
Up next, third baseman number 20, Tommy Sekretarski.
Our apologies. That was Jackson Haynes.
Haynes did not miss that one by much.
I got mixed up here with the batting around. That's what happened.
Darn hitting 9. 97 miles per hour off the bat, though, by Jackson Haynes.
All out of sorts here.
You did mention he was 3 for 3 earlier, and that's still true. Now he is really 3 for 3.
So now it's Sekretarski after that 2-run double. Second extra base hit of the inning has put Carolina back in front 5-3. On a hop to Winbush. In time to get Sekretarski. I mean, that was bound to happen.
No one knows. Whoever's the people watching at home, they knew who was batting.
Yeah.
The Georgia fans.
How do you not recognize family?
They knew what they were doing. And our graphics crew had it all right all along. Jackson Haynes almost went yard, though.
Sure did. So 2 outs now. Colton Newbern is now the hitter.
Haynes had an aggressive secondary there, stumbled as he got off the bag, and Biondo thought about throwing a back pick down there.
That is fouled at the plate.
Mosley, you wonder if this might be his last inning of work for Georgia.
Base hit left field. Haynes will score easily. It's 6-3 Carolina. Colton Newbern delivers a run-scoring hit.
Well, now for Georgia, you hope Mosley can finish this thing. The pen that was active, they had already started to work their way into the dugout, so whoever it was that's going to be the next hurler for Georgia is clearly ready to go, whether that's now or later.
Ryan Page out to the mound. Carolina 6 runs on 9 hits, and they have knocked out Chase Mosley here with back-to-back 3-run innings.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on making the most.
The game to pitch for Georgia. First out of the bullpen for them, the North Paulding 2027 product, 6'3", 210. The right-hander will try and cool down these red-hot Carolina bats. Already 6 runs on 9 hits for a Carolina team, eyeing a perfect sweep through the bracket rounds of this Stinger High School National Championship Series.
We'll see what we get from the big righty. Looking at some of his performances in the past. He's managed to top out in the low 90s. Curveball, slider, secondary pitches. Well, that big righty you mentioned in North Paulding, uncommitted.
He inherits a base runner at first, and Brady Williamson coming to bat. Carolina batting around in the 3rd. Williamson will be the 7th to hit here in the top of the 4th. We know the Georgia bats are capable. They'll try and keep this at a manageable deficit. They are the designated home team, so still opportunities on the horizon for Georgia to try and punch back.
We certainly know how capable, obviously, North Carolina's bats are. 2 consecutive 3-run innings, scored 13 in their win over Colorado yesterday. And you look at what they just did to Mosley. Mosley had only faced 1 over the minimum through 2 innings, but then put 6 runs up over the last 2. We're just talking about the talent-rich places to draw from for both of these squads.
Williamson after the first one as Sapp charges and throws wide. Newbern rounds 3rd. The throw from Fontenot airmailed. And digging for 3rd is Williamson. 7-3 on a pair of throwing errors.
Unfortunate, that's the pitch Hoffman wanted to make. He had Williamson reaching for it, just a little nubber. You see it out and away, tops it over to 3rd base. Sapp comes, probably had time to set his feet, but did not do so, and because of that makes the wild throw pass first. So that's the first error, and then this throw from Fontenot that sails beyond the catcher is the second error that allowed Williamson to end all the way up at 3rd base.
Get a courtesy runner at 3rd as Brandon bats now. And just foul. And of course, Carolina is going to be all over Aaron Christians, who called a similar ground ball fair that was much to the chagrin of Carolina earlier in the game.
Williamson, the catcher, who lumbered around the bases to end up at 3rd, did get that courtesy runner. And this is the type of day, too, where you may see a couple of different catchers behind the plate just because of the heat and humidity.
Hoffman in front. 0-2. Out of play. Missouri and Florida getting off the bus. And they'll have to wait a while with this game barely through 3.5. Wild pitch. 8-3.
Seen that a surprising amount of times throughout this event. Not just wild pitches, but well out in front of the plate wild pitches. That doesn't give Biondo any shot at keeping that in front of him.
Let's go. Rock, paper, scissors right now. Come on.
Another foul ball off the bat of Brody Brannon. Been on twice, infield hit, and a walk.
They want to check. Hoffman wanted Biondo to check, but no check on that. Brief attempt at the bat from Brannon.
In tight, full count. Watch out. That almost got Luke Dancer in the on-deck area.
He was able to get out of the way because he heard you.
Yeah, heads up.
Watch out. You called it. Quick thinking. Quick reaction time by Dancer down there. Sometimes you see those on-deck guys not paying as close of attention. He certainly was.
Another foul ball. Just got a piece of that one.
And the longer this at-bat goes, the more you hear his dugout getting behind him. Obviously, you put up 8 runs over 2 innings. You have a little bit of momentum on your side as well.
Next pitch from Hoffman will be the 9th of the sequence. Walked him. A 9-pitch plate appearance as Brody Brennan finds his way on base for a 3rd time in 4 innings. Georgia going to send some more bodies to the left field bullpen as Luke Dancer digs in.
Second straight inning now that Carolina has sent 9 batters to the plate.
We'll keep better track of that next inning. Mostly because Rob's on the play-by-play.
Yeah, I don't want to be talking about the wrong guys.
No, leave that to me.
Yeah, I will. That's why I didn't jump in. I just wanted you to keep going.
Dancer hitless in 2 at-bats, has lifted the ball to the outfield twice. The future Dayton Flyer digging in. Yeah, Hoffman just can't find the zone. 3-0, Rook Niddle, who opened the inning with a ground out on deck. To heck with the leadoff base runner. You can still have a big inning if the first guy gets out. Four-pitch walk. To put a couple men on for Georgia.
Well, this will help now with the 10th batter coming to the inning. We can just go ahead and scratch out and messes up the scorebook, but it's a little more obvious this way.
Mine's messed up anyway because of the foolish miscue I had at the start of the inning.
Scratch out the 5, right the 4.
those at home doing the same thing. So 2 on, 2 out. And Niddle watches a called strike.
Now be honest, have you ever scored a game at home?
No. Glenn has.
Glenn has. I have not. I'm a huge,
I think
enormous baseball fan. Never would it cross my mind
and
to score
honestly,
a game at
when I go to a game like a Major League Baseball game to watch as a fan, I don't score it either.
Now that I understand fans that do that though. That makes sense.
Yeah, maybe if I didn't do it calling all these games, it would be a little more fun, but just look on the scoreboard and they'll tell us what the hitters had done previous times up there.
It's a nice breaking ball by Hoffman there, trying to get out of this jam after a couple of walks.
Missed up high. 5 runs in the inning for Carolina to break a 3-3 tie. On 1-2. Check swing foul.
Yikes.
Near the Georgia dugout. It ricochets back to the home plate circle.
So Danzer was almost taken out by Brandon when he was on deck, and now he almost takes out the Georgia dugout. No, Danzer's at first. See, again, it's the problem with the scorebook and the 9 people.
Maybe like, the fact that we've done 18 games in 2 days.
Niddle's up there. That's Rook.
Rook Niddle with 2 on and 2 out, 5 across. And another wild pitch kicks away from Biondo to move up the runners to second and third.
Oh, wow.
With a 2-ball, 2-strike count, it appears Hoffman is being lifted from this game.
Was just laboring out there. Never looked comfortable.
So in the midst of a 2-2 count, we have a change. For Georgia, takes over a 2-2 count. And trying to keep this game right where it is. Oates 5'9" from Pinewood Christian Academy. The Southpaw will try and finish off Rook Niddle after he finishes his warm-up tosses.
Yeah, so interesting to make that pitching change with a 2-2 count after that wild pitch, but must have just seen something that said, all right, that's enough. Hoffman just labored out there, never looked comfortable on the bump, and a really short stay out there for the first reliever for Georgia, now going to the pen once again in this inning. Saw Ryan Page. Showed him in the dugout, had to make this decision to pull the trigger and give another opportunity to this lefty. It is a lefty-lefty matchup.
There you go.
That's a little advantage.
Lengthy top half of the fourth here. We've had 2 pitching changes, 5 runs that have come across. We mislabeled Glenn Sisk. It has just been an adventure.
Rook Niddle still at the plate, though. We got that.
And Niddle reaches for it, backhanded by Fontenot, who beats him to the bag. And the inning mercifully comes to an end for Georgia, but not before Carolina hangs 5. 8-3. Afternoon at the Stinger High School Baseball National Championship presented by Raising Cane's. It's North Carolina 8-3 over Georgia. As we're joined now by the skipper of North Carolina from the third base dugout. And Coach, you have to be pleased with the way your offense has answered back after Georgia opened up a 2-0 lead in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going down early, but our guys didn't roll over. They faced adversity and they fought back. It was good to see.
Coach, talk about your guys' experience. Obviously, you've had some success on the field, but overall, what's been the experience here in the dugout having some fun?
Yeah, I could tell they're doing something behind me, but I think our kids have had a great time. Just coming from all parts of the state and meeting each other here and obviously competing pretty well on the field, too, makes it a good time.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Carolina blue here in Omaha the last few weeks as well.
Yeah, fortunately our Tar Heels weren't able to get it done a few weeks ago, but hopefully we can have a good showing here.
Coach, you make a pitching change after a very long top half of the inning. What are you hoping to do just pitching-wise the rest of this game if you could stay in front?
Yeah, just hopefully attack hitters and give ourselves a chance. Our defense has been pretty good this week so far, so just give them an opportunity to make plays behind them.
All right, Coach, we appreciate your time. Love the hats.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That is Guy Civitello, the North Carolina head coach, has led them to a 2-0 start in this tournament and has watched his team score 8 runs across the last 2 innings, and now trying to deliver a shutdown inning as Sam Rice has been called upon. 6'4" lefty out of the bullpen for Carolina, taking over for the starter. He is greeted with an opposite field swing that one hops the wall in left. That is Andrew Snow out of the 9th spot in the order as Georgia tries to roar back.
Snow connected on that one. Lefty-lefty matchup, takes that pitch to left field. You see the wind blowing too, but that ball 90 miles per hour off the bat gets to the fence. And Georgia needs to answer. They don't need to get all those runs back, but they want to creep back into at least chip away at this 8-3 deficit.
A bunt. Not in time. Winbush beats it out. His second hit. And here comes Georgia with runners at the corners and nobody out.
Yeah, Winbush on base for the 3rd time in 4 innings for Georgia at the top of the lineup. Look at this, just sneaking it down. Rice fields it, but just a little too casual as the speed from Winbush produces some pressure, and the future Troy Trojan making things happen for Georgia.
Now Chase Mosley, who started this game as the starting pitcher for Georgia. Takes a strike.
Yeah, he stays in as the DH. The starting lineup card did have him as the P/DH. Major leagues have now adjusted to that rule as well, correct?
For one guy.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani rule. That looked like a good pitch, just off.
Mosley taps the 1-2 foul. Georgia now with 3 runs on 6 hits. Got 2 runs in the first inning, another in the third, and had to sit around a while as Carolina pushed across 5 in the top half of this inning. But a double and bunt base hit have set up Georgia to answer back as Mosley takes in the dirt, skips away from Williamson. It's 8-4 with Winbush advancing to second.
Not the shutdown inning you'd like to see after a 5 spot in the top half. 2 batters in and 1 run across already.
Go, kid.
Fouled off by Mosley as Sam Rice looks for his first out of the inning. Big curveball low and away.
Curveball never really broke back in. It stayed out from Rice, the reliever.
Mosley to the alley in left center. Whittemire watching, and it bounces over the fence. An automatic double. Another run comes across for Georgia, and 3 straight hits to greet Sam Rice.
A double, a bunt single, and now a ground rule double. Out to right his first time up. Walked in his second plate appearance, and then drives this one into the gap for the RBI double.
Daniel Biondo with an RBI double himself in the first inning. Next into a double play his last time.
See that breaking go ball once again, not pulling down on it enough. Rice just leaving that one up, so you want to finish down and pull through that breaking pitch. Gets the generous high strike there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Check swing. He did not. Full count.
I do like the heads-up play by Williamson, though. Go ahead and tag him. Tag him before you call him out. That was absolutely the right call, obviously. Difficult for the field ump to call that, but got it right.
And he strikes out anyway. 1 down as Rice gets his first out.
Up next, first baseman, number 18, Bryce
Rice able to
Fontenot.
finally locate that off-speed pitch that he'd been trying to get across and got the swing and a miss.
One down for Bryce Fontenot. Taking ball 1. Bouncing ball. It's fair. And it gets away from Newbern. The first Carolina error. And Fontenot reaches.
I think that's an E3. Yeah. Newbern, watch his glove, how he receives it. What you want to do on these low throws is turn your glove over. He does not do that, and instead of flipping it with palm up to receive that low throw, watch, he kind of just drifts back in with the palm not positioned how you want to, and makes a bad situation worse here for North Carolina.
Coach Page is going to grab a courtesy runner. Bryce Floyd, yesterday's starting pitcher, in for Bryce Fontenot.
Pinch running at first base for Georgia, number 1, Bryce Floyd.
And Trip Sapp. No official at-bats on the day with a walk-in sack bunt.
And how about that, seeing a sack bunt in an 8-5 game? Of course, it was a little more low scoring when he dropped that one down.
Big breaking ball lands at the top of the strike zone.
Yeah, I like to see that out of the lefty Rice. That first couple of breaking balls he tried to throw, he didn't have it. He was not able to locate it. He continues to go back to it, though. You got to work through it sometimes. You can't just give up on a pitch after 2, 3, 4 misses with the pitch. And that's what obviously good arms do, and they know how to make the adjustments.
Outside corner. Off speed again, 1-2.
And you can see how important that pitch is to him. He continues to put it in there. Trying to induce a ground ball here.
He does. No tag. Another low throw to first. Newbern handles this one. For whatever reason, Sekretarski didn't flip to second there. Would have had a chance at a double play if they went 5-4-3.
Agreed. I think that's the play you want to do there. Sekretarski tried to make the tag, did not make the tag on the runner advancing in front of him. That's Chase Mosley, who's now at third base. Maybe just trying to sell the tag there. Instead, they settle for the 1 out at first base.
Still gives Georgia a chance to cash in even further. Second and third, 2 outs. Asher Stevens, the hitter. And a check swing foul. Stevens has been on twice, hit by pitch and an RBI double.
Stevens 2 for 5. 2 games previous to this.
To center field, Haynes back and runs it down. The elite speed of Jackson Haynes. And he makes the catch on the deep fly ball off the bat of Stevens. Georgia gets a couple. 8-5 after 4. Carolina and Georgia as we look at past series champions here at the Stinger High School Baseball National Championship. Eric Borba has led California to the last 2 titles. Florida and Greg Olson in 23. California won it in 22, and Florida won the inaugural event in 2019. Obviously, COVID affecting the 2 2020 and 2021 events. That being said, while both Florida and California have positioned themselves nicely here to begin 2-0, I think there's a decent chance we'll have a first-time champion in this event this year.
Yeah, that would be exciting to see. There's tons of talent out there all across the state. North Carolina, obviously, in good position right here at 2-0 and up 3 in the 5th inning.
Rob Sims has you covered on the play-by-play for the 5th and 6th here.
Yeah, Caleb Ellis, 9-1-2 for North Carolina here in the top of the 5th inning. They put up that 5-run 5th. Georgia answered back with 2 in the bottom half, 5-run 4th. And a 2-run answer from Georgia puts us at 8-5. Swung on and missed by Caleb Ellis. The delivery from Luke Oates came in with a 2-2 count. Last inning, on the final hitter of the inning, got Rook Niddle to ground out to first base to finally put an end to that marathon inning. And now he'll get a fresh count for the first time on the bump. Lefty from Georgia delivers. Another bunt attempt from Caleb Ellis. Saw him square on the previous pitch that was in the dirt. A lot of times you see a guy tries to square and get on with a base hit. Might not go back to it, but Ellis, the designated hitter in this lineup for North Carolina, decided to try it again, and he bunts right through it. 1-2 now the count. Swung on and missed. Luke Oates has retired the 2 batters he's faced out of the pen.
8 hours.
And if you're Georgia here after watching Carolina combine for 8 runs the last 2 innings, that's a welcome sight.
Absolutely. Back to the top of the order. Karsten Whittemire. Come around to score 2 runs there, you see. A fly out in the first, hit by a pitch in the third, came around to score the run, and then a double last inning. Came around to score. Foul ball ruled there.
Warm day like this, I mean, you want your guys to not sit out there in the playing field like they had to last inning through a couple of pitching changes and a big offensive frame. I think it's important if Georgia wants to win this game, got to have a shutdown inning here.
Georgia definitely has the bats to make the comeback in this one too, the delivery. Up and away from Luke Oates, the lefty. Third pitcher of the day for Georgia. Chase Mosley was relieved last inning, and then Hoffman was also relieved last inning. Could not get out of that one. The curveball stays out, but swung on and missed from Whittemire. So he's down in the count, 1-2. Whittemire from E.A. Laney High School. Swung on, lifted to right field. Coming in is Brown. Squeezes it for the second out of the top of the 5th inning.
A lot of free passes, wild pitches in this game, and for Luke Oates to come in pounding the strike zone has to have Coach Page and Georgia encouraged.
Yeah, and again, you got to chip away. There you see the 3-for-3 day that Haynes has put up so far. 4 RBI.
He just looks very comfortable up there.
Yeah, uncommitted right now out of Providence High School. This type of performance might catch some eyes. Lefty speedster in the 2-hole for North Carolina. Curveball doesn't break back across the plate as Oates would have liked. Ball's behind in the count, 2-0 to a hot hitter. Georgia just trying to hold it here so they can continue to chip away. 2-0 delivery misses high, and now Haynes in control. 3-0 offering is up, and Haynes, for the 4th time, reaches base this afternoon.
Well, he's got a lot of speed. 2 outs in the inning. Wouldn't be surprised to see him take off here.
Up next, the third baseman, number 20, Tommy Sekretarski.
Sekretarski, the 3rd baseman for North Carolina, hoping to extend the inning. We'll see what Haynes decides to do at first base with the lefty. No lead whatsoever.
I'd guess he knew that was coming.
Well, it's one of those things, too. If you haven't seen a lefty's move, you stay close and you have a one-way lead. That was certainly a one-way lead, if even you could call it a lead. A low leg kick there by Oates. Delivers a strike on the outer half. To Tommy Sekretarski, going to the Ivy League. Out of Asheville High School, headed to Penn. Runner off on first movement. This one lifted high in the air to left field, into the wind. And it takes it over the fence for a home run. Tommy Sekretarski.
Well, you want to get one up out of Cal Anderson Field, that's the place to hit it. Left the bat at 93 miles per hour on a 72 mile per hour pitch. And there was a towering fly ball that didn't look like off the bat it had the distance to go. But you get it up into that jet stream, and my goodness, the wind just kept pushing it further and further back. I think Snow was in some disbelief that that ball carried out.
I think Snow certainly thought he was going to catch the ball. Tommy plays it into the wind perfectly.
We've got 3 flags in left center field, and they are just howling out.
Can we call him Tommy Tanks? Or is that taken? Is it copyrighted?
It's not copyrighted. Talk about a guy that shouldn't have left NC State. Sure, he won a national title with LSU, but he was like the 5th best player on that team.
He played in this event previously. This ball hit to shortstop Winbush. has no shot. As Colton Newburn reaches on an infield single to keep the inning going. So first two retired in this one, then a walk to Jackson Haynes on 4 pitches, and then a wind-aided fly ball that ends up over the left center field fence. And for the third consecutive inning, North Carolina has put up a crooked number.
It's impressive. This team has looked really good its first few days. We'll almost certainly see them back here tomorrow.
Brady Williamson reached on an error in his previous plate appearance. His courtesy runner came around to score in his spot in that big run, 5-run inning last inning. Swung on and missed the 3-pitch strikeout to end the inning, but Tommy Sekretarski puts up a pair with this blast.
10-5, Carolina over Georgia. Last half of the 5th inning in a slugfest from Tal Anderson Field in Omaha, the final day of bracket play at the Stinger High School Baseball National Championship presented by Raising Cane's. One love. Carolina 10 runs on 11 hits. Georgia 5 runs on 7 hits. And Georgia, after watching Carolina get a couple runs back in the top half of the inning, will try and answer the bell again against the left-hander for North Carolina, embarking on his 2nd inning of work, Sam Rice.
Yeah, Sam Rice
Leading up for Georgia.
back on the bump. Omari Burse steps into the box to lead off here for Georgia. Rice drops it in underneath the zone. Swung on and missed by the future UAB Blazer. Second baseman for Georgia looking to get things going again. Tough to keep chipping away at a lead if the lead keeps growing. They answered with 2 runs after the 5 spot by North Carolina last inning, but then again, North Carolina answers to push back to that 5-run lead. And themselves trailing here in the bottom half of the inning. Rice nibbling out there with an off-speed delivery just off the plate. Couldn't get the chase from Omari Burse. North Carolina looking to remain one of the unbeatens here at this event. Advance to bracket play tomorrow. The 8 teams will play in quarterfinal action and trying to advance to semifinals and championship Sunday at Charles Schwab Field, Omaha.
New second baseman now in for North Carolina, number 3, Jackson McNally.
One of those unbeatens. Kansas fell to Louisiana earlier today, so unbeaten no more. 7-1 Louisiana with the victory. And caught looking is Omari Burse as Rice drops in another off-speed offering, and Burse couldn't get the bat off the shoulder. Look at this. Just cut inside. Burse wasn't looking for it. So he goes down looking. Brings to the plate Beckett Brown.
Batting number 19, Luke Oltz.
It's like Luke Oates, the young man we've seen pitching for Georgia.
So yeah, the lefty, left-handed hitter. See what we get out of Mr. Oates at the plate. Pinewood Christian Academy, there you see it. Trying to help himself out there. He's the 3rd pitcher of the game. For Georgia, Rice is the 2nd pitcher for North Carolina. That one floats in over the zone on the outer half. Moves it full. Looking for a shutdown inning from the lefty Rice. But his counterpart, the Goat, says he has other thoughts as he drops one into right field. 1, 2, 3 innings have been hard to come by in this ball game.
They sure have. We've got a combined 15 runs and 19 hits between the two teams.
We'll have a courtesy runner here for our pitcher.
Courtesy running for Georgia, number 5,
Gavin McElroy. So does his job offensively to do his part. Singles. That brings up Andrew Snow in the 9-hole. Doubled in his last plate appearance down the left field line. Would eventually come around to score on a double by Chase Mosley. Nice just hitting that outside corner with his first 2 pitches to Andrew Snow.
Snow was the first man Rice faced last inning, and he greeted him with an opposite field double.
Slow roller to second. Unable to field it, but we're going to have an interference call.
Runner's interference, and now the umpires will talk about it.
Right? They look like they are in agreement. As Danzer comes into the slow chopper. And our courtesy runner, watch the, because of where the courtesy runner, McElroy, ran to cause that interference, even though the ball had passed, they're still going to say the interference is necessary, and he is going to be out. Runner, the hitter, Snow, will remain at first base, and that will be our second out. So call that a 4 unassisted for those of you once again scoring at home, which I know is so many of you. Here again, watch the interference. As Danzer
Next up, the shortstop, number 2,
took his
Luke
eye off the
Winbush.
ball because of the runner there, but could have fielded that ball. Fortunate to get the call that he did get. So 2 down now. Back to the top of the order in Luke Winbush, who has yet to be retired in his first 3 trips to the plate. Fielder's choice, trying the back pick down to first. Snow back in under the tag. Winbush, you saw his numbers. Hit by pitch to start the game, came around to score. Singled in the second, singled in the fourth, and scored in that trip around the bases as well. This one lifted into center. Will the wind take this? It doesn't appear so, although Haynes settled under it, had to take a few steps back to corral that one, and a scoreless frame here in the top of the inning. We'll head into bottom half of the 6th.
ESPN Plus in the knockout round of this tournament. On brand with all the soccer going on around the country.
There you go, knockout round. I don't necessarily ever associate that with baseball, but it works. It works for this event. It is win or go home starting tomorrow. For the top 8 teams, the teams that don't advance into that top 8 bracket will still have some consolation games as well around town. Creighton Prep and Westside High School hosting those ball games. We'll be back here, as Chris said, at Tal Anderson.
Leading off for North Carolina, right fielder, number 27, Brody Brannon.
California trying to remain unbeaten. They're up 4-3 over Maryland. In the top of the 7th, that's the final frame as we're in the top of the 6th here on the campus of the University of Nebraska, Omaha. Home of the Omaha Mavericks out of the Summit League. First pitch swinging. And missing for Brody Brannon. Missed this one, lifted into right field. Will it hang up long enough? It does. For Brown, Beckett Brown covered some ground out there. Or no, that's looks like our starting pitcher from today out there in right field. Chase Mosley showing his versatility. He really covered some ground there. That ball, again, aided by the wind blowing across there, so thought that ball might get down foul off the bat. Instead, gets down into the glove of today's starting pitcher, Mosley, now in right field.
We've been told Georgia has lost their designated hitter for the game,
Which seemed to be okay because Oates handled the bat well for himself.
Seems like everybody that has pitched for Georgia also has capabilities to do things with the bat as well.
Healthy swing by the North Carolina hitter, Jackson McNally, at the plate. For the first time this afternoon, McNally off the bench, Apex Friendship High School, class of 27. Lefty on lefty here. Takes one to the ribs or the elbow. Either way, he's on base with the hit by pitch. Seen a handful of those today. So that it was in the 7 spot. He was hitting for Luke Dancer. McNally reaches first base. And Rook Niddle now up. He's gone to the right side 3 times in this ball game. Singled, grounded out to first a couple of times. Georgia trying to chip away at this 5-run deficit. Pitcher's pitch and a good tink from Niddle. Couldn't do much with that pitch on a 0-0 count. Then goes chasing. Pitch number 2 down in the count, 0-2 for Niddle. TH Conley High School. Today's shortstop for North Carolina. Ball hit up the middle, sneaks its way through. And 2 on, 1 out for North Carolina here in the top half of the 6th inning. I should say Georgia trying to prevent this lead from getting any further than 5 runs.
Now batting designated hitter number 4, Caleb Ellis.
9-hole hitter, Caleb Ellis, the designated hitter for North Carolina at the plate. He's 2 for 3 in this ball game. Couple of singles for the UNC Greensboro commit. We have Grace Christian. North Carolina looking to stay unbeaten. Talked about California hanging on in the top of the 7th right now, looking to stay unbeaten. Fouled away. North Carolina edged Missouri 2-1 to open play here in Omaha, and then cruised past Colorado yesterday 13-1. Goats delivers. This one swung on, lifted to deep left field, up into the jet stream. Will it carry? It does! Caleb Ellis goes yard. 3 more runs across the plate for North Carolina, and the lead grows.
97 off the bat. It traveled 368 feet, and again, Want to hit a home run? Left center field's your best bet. And Carolina might have the best home run celebration among the 18 teams that have traveled to Omaha this week.
Look, the launch angle clearly working for that one. And we haven't talked about this as that 3-run homer clears the left center field fence. Home run derby tonight. The wind's definitely blowing the right way to make it an entertaining event.
Especially for right-hand hitters.
This one swung on, lifted to center field. Stevens under it for out number 2 here. Karsten Wittemeyer retired.
Number 5, Jackson Haynes.
Jackson Haynes to the plate. Maybe the hottest hitter in this entire tournament. Who knows? 3 for 3 in this one. Walks in his 4th plate appearance, so his 5th plate appearance of the afternoon. Now North Carolina up 13-5. A healthy swing for the North Carolina center fielder. Caleb Ellis, the 3-run homer for the UNC Greensboro commit. Blows this one open in the top of the 6th inning.
Right off the bare hand of the first base coach. It was 83 off the bat, man.
You know, I learned when I was coaching my son in youth ball, about the time they got to 13, 14U, you know, I'd stop trying to field the ground balls. I could do it when they were littler, but then one bruised thumb pad later, I decided it was about time to be done. As Oates paints the corner on the outside, but a 3-run blast by Caleb Ellis puts North Carolina up 13-5.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on
About 10-15 minutes from downtown Omaha in the Exarban District. Tal Anderson Field, 13-5. North Carolina on top of Georgia. And time is running out for Georgia after they looked like a juggernaut, putting 17 on Oregon day 1. They were held to just a run yesterday. And their pitching has faltered today, allowing 13 runs on 12 hits.
Leading out for Georgia, right fielder number 8, Chase
Couple of home runs over the
Mosley.
last couple half innings for North Carolina to build this lead. A 2-run homer in the 5th, a 3-run homer in the 6th, and the right fielder, Chase Mosley, leading off as this ball lifted down the right field line where you looked like it was going to be well fair and almost snuck back into fair territory with this prevailing south wind here in Omaha.
Is that where it's coming from?
Well, all right, here's some history for you. The orientation, remember Rosenblatt Stadium used to be a home run hitter's paradise on a windy June day for the College World Series. The orientation of this field is how Rosenblatt Stadium was set up with the wind blowing out to left field. And we're getting the same type of weather pattern here today that you saw so many times at Rosenblatt.
Isn't that it's a zoo now, right?
Well, the zoo was always there. It's a parking lot for the zoo. Now, you can go over there if you want to do that this evening. There's the home plate for Rosenblatt's still there.
I've done it.
Okay,
I've done
there's
it.
a mini wiffle ball field. Some seats from the original stadium still over there. As Rice misses outside to Mosley. But yeah, and continuing that point too, not the same orientation as Charles Schwab Field. This one swung on and fouled off. So one of the many reasons why when the move to the stadium happened, it coincided with a dramatic shift in bat technology. So those first couple years at the stadium, the offense was down and people were freaking out about the dimensions of the new ballpark, the way it was sitting, but bat technology had a huge role in that. As Rice misses and Mosley doesn't chase, looking for his second base hit of the afternoon to lead off. Bottom of the 6th for Georgia. Again, this young man started on the mound today, had an at-bat as a designated hitter as well, and then we saw him make a play in right field in the top half of this inning. showing off his versatility, the Georgia Southern commit. Really have liked his at-bats as well today. A walk and a double for him. And a grinded out fly ball. Grinded out fly ball to right field in his first at-bat. Takes this one high and grinds out his second walk of the day to start the 6th inning for Georgia.
Up next, the catcher number 3.
And his fellow
Biondo.
Georgia Southern commit to follow. Biondo headed there with him. The catcher for Georgia takes on the outer half.
Down there in Statesboro, Georgia. Got a good rivalry with Georgia State where they say Southern not State or State not Southern.
This one swung on, lifted. Foul territory. Sekretarski. So one away for Sam Rice.
Now batting the first baseman.
Second pitcher of the day for North Carolina on the mound. Will Parrish started. Sam Rice in relief of him. Brings to the plate. There you see the first baseman, Bryce Fontenot. Chris, you a big golfer or golf fan?
You know, as I get into my later years here very soon, I'd aspire to golf more. But the problem is, I came up a baseball player, so I you know, my technique with a golf club is skewed by all those days and nights in the batting cages.
You can shake that habit. You just
I know
got
I
to get out
can,
there.
and there's a lot of baseball players that are great golfers.
This one swung on, drilled to center field, 101 off the bat. And as you'd expect, a one-hop ground rule double. Third one we've seen in this game, and throughout this weekend here at Tal Anderson Field, we've seen the springy turf result in some doubles. But wow, that ball ripped to center field by the Georgia first baseman. Got all of this one. Look at that. Stays back and drives it 101.
Yeah, great compact swing, and Haynes, even with all his great speed, no chance to get to it. In a game like this, you don't feel like you're out of it. Georgia's down to its last 5 outs, trailing by 8, but they've had good swings.
So we saw a big comeback yesterday. Hawaii overcoming a 5-run deficit. This would be an even more improbable comeback. This one skips in the dirt, gets away from Williamson. No desire for Mosley to try to get home on that one. 1 out, bottom of the 6th. Georgia threatening to cut into an 8-run deficit as North Carolina looking to finish pool play 3-0. Another ball bounced in there. 3-0 now. To the 5-hole hitter, Trip Sapp. This Georgia squad, Loganville High School, class of 28. Sapp takes the almost automatic 3-0 strike. Third baseman. Takes another strike, so now a full count. To the Loganville product. Wants to bring in his teammates here. Nice delivers. Swung on, chopped to the left side. Third baseman Sekretarski cuts off the shortstop. Throws across the diamond for out number 2. So give Trip Sapp an RBI. But if you're North Carolina, you will gladly trade it out for a run at this point in the ballgame. Here you see what third basemen are trained to do, and because of the momentum they have going towards first base, easier play for them. Sekretarski coming across to get out number 2, and here looks like we have a pinch hitter. Still is Asher Stevens. Excuse me, my eye is deceiving me here in game number 400. This ball hits sharply to short. Niddle comes up firing. A great play on Asher Stevens. 102 off the bat. Niddle takes care of business. We head to our final frame.
North Carolina unbeaten in this Stinger High School Baseball National Championship presented by Raising Cane's, and up 13-6 here in the final game of bracket play over Georgia. On to the top of the 7th, and Georgia has brought in the right-hander Tyson Gaines to pitch. Gaines from Houston County High School in the class of 2027. Been a big day for the Carolina Bats, 13 runs on a dozen hits. And they have scored multiple runs across the last 4 innings.
They have been really impressive to see what this offense for North Carolina has done. We have a
Fleet change, huh?
yeah, changing the shoes.
Got to get into those squares. No need to throw on the 3 stripes when you could put on a pair of squares.
But it looks like he is trading that in just for no cleats at all. No metal, no rubber sole cleats either. That's just the straight up tennis shoes, turf shoes for Gaines.
Yeah, and on turf. Makes sense.
Does make sense. And this is one of those completely all turf fields. You know, you see some turf fields that will have the dirt cutouts at home and on the mound, but this one, all turf throughout the entire complex.
So Gaines finishing his warm-up tosses and will face North Carolina here in the top of the 7th.
Leading out for North Carolina, third baseman number 20, Tommy Sekretarski.
Tommy Sekretarski homered his last time up and bounces the first one foul. One of 2 Carolina homers on the day. Caleb Ellis had a 3-run shot.
Just mentioned earlier that we might see a couple of different catchers in this ball game just because of the heat and humidity. And Georgia does go to McCann. Here we see this last swing for Sekretarski.
Up into that wind in left center field and able to get it airborne and out for his 2nd home run this week. Does that mean he gets to take home 2 Stinger
I
bats?
feel like it should mean that. See Dominic McCann behind the plate now for Georgia. Relieving Biondo back there.
We will not start on time in our final game. Need at least 30 minutes between. Florida and Missouri coming up after this one. Backpedaling Winbush to make the catch. One down, Colton Newbern on 3 times with 2 hits.
Seems like you could say he's been on 3 or 4 times to just about every hitter in this lineup for North Carolina. Talked about 4 straight innings with crooked numbers.
Upstairs. and fouled back.
We did receive word that California was the first confirmed 3-0 team through into the quarterfinal knockout round, if you will.
Carolina trying to join them. Kansas was knocked off today by Louisiana. Louisiana goes 2-1. Florida will try and go 3-0 after this one against Missouri as Newbern strikes out swinging. 2 down in the 7th.
Short action there for the first baseman.
Texas also 2-1, bouncing back from a loss to Kansas yesterday.
Number 14, Holt Gaston.
Holt Gaston will bat here with 2 down for Carolina. Gaston from T.C. Roberson High School in the class of 2027. That is outside. Fly to left center. Stevens moving over and reaches up to make the play. 1-2-3 frame for Gaines. Georgia needs a big rally down to their final 3 outs.
To the top of the 7th for North Carolina. No runs, no hits, no errors.
Sam Rice out of the Carolina bullpen has done a nice job. 7-run lead as we ready for the bottom of the 7th and the final chance for Georgia here after such a promising start with the 17-run effort. They had a no-hit effort against Oregon in their first game, but unable to figure it out against Florida yesterday and really up against it here. Hit hard, off the lower half of Sekretarski, and no play for Niddle. Sekretarski slow to get up. That ball left the bat at 90 miles per hour.
Yeah, if he didn't get his glove on it before it hit his leg, if that got shin bone, that's gonna leave a mark, some stitches.
10th hit for Georgia.
Yeah, that looked like it went off the right shin or kneecap even. Yeah, just you see him pointing to his knee area, right leg. That's painful.
Just a little painful.
As you said, 90 off the bat. It's not called the hot corner for no reason. He signed up for it.
Certainly some justification behind the title of that third base position. And Sekretarski will stay in the game. So Burse is aboard. And Tyson Gaines, who worked a scoreless top half of the inning, will now bat for the first time.
Now batting number 15, Tyson Gaines.
One and two. Misses low, 2 and 2. speed in there for strike 3. 1 down.
Blue Rice, this drop in here. Little
Base
breaking
of luck,
pitch.
number 11, Andrew Snow.
Gaines didn't know what to do with it.
Snow waves over the top of the first one.
Yeah, well in front of that breaking pitch in the upper 60s.
Snow doubled against Rice. Back in the 4th. Sekretarski stops it. Not in time. Nice effort. Snow has his second hit. And a pair on here for Georgia with 1 out.
Yeah, well done by Sekretarski to even glove this. And surprised he was able to gather his footing. Watch it, a little slippage there, but back up, plants and throws. Throws a strike across the diamond, but just not in time.
Dom McCann will now bat.
So batting number 22, Dom McCann.
Two on. Rice misses again.
So McCann now hitting in the leadoff spot in place of Luke Winbush.
That'll get out of play.
I've got it.
Chopped foul behind the plate. 2 strikes now on McCann. No relation to longtime Atlanta Braves catcher Brian McCann. Although it is interesting to see all the former big leaguers, kids that have participated in this event. We had Andre Ethier's son of California, Drayson, last night, as well as Michael Sweeney's kid, DJ, off the glove of Niddle. Base hit for McCann to bring home Burse, 13-7. Also had a Jim Tomei's son playing this a couple years ago. And that looks like it's all for Rice, who's given up 3 hits and now a run in the inning. So a change here. Combined 20 runs between Carolina and Georgia with 2 outs to go. Carolina finds itself 2 outs away from a 3-0 start in this Stinger High School Baseball National Championship Series. Couple on, 1 in for Georgia, trying to rally from a 6-run deficit. Newbern, the 3rd pitcher used by Carolina in this game. Will Parrish started, then Sam Rice, and now back to a right-hander in Newbern.
And you saw, we caught a glimpse of Connor Sousa out there, who will slot into the first base slot, now vacated by Newbern. Newbern coming over from first onto the mound. 2-way threat. And he's listed as a catcher on our roster, so multi-talented Colton Newbern headed to East Carolina, class of 27.
Newbern getting ready to face Chase Mosley, who once upon a time started this game on the mound for Georgia.
Feels like ages ago. That's when the sun was still out. We've got some cloud cover coming in.
Now first
Sure, it feels good for the fans out there in the stands.
Connor Sousa. How about a Chase Mosley?
Chase Mosley has been on 3 times, 2 walks and a run-scoring double as the first pitch makes its way to the backstop. That's upstairs.
Talked about it yesterday in some broadcast, how saw some catchers come in as closers. A lot of major league closers started as catchers. You have a catcher on the mound now, Colton Newburn of D.H. Conley High School. Big frame out there, 6'3".
Right over the heart of the plate.
Mosley taking all the way on that 3-0 delivery.
Towards the middle and through. Base hit. And it kicks away from Haynes. 2 runs in. It's 13-9.
Just got really interesting here with 1 down. Pair of RBIs on that single.
Making things interesting. We've seen our fair share of 7th inning comebacks. 3 across here in the bottom of the 7th. And here's Biondo. To third. Sekretarski snaps it across. 2 down.
Sekretarski opting for the sure out. Going the long way across the diamond for out number 2.
First baseman number 18, Bryce Fontenot.
Last chance here for Georgia. Bryce Fontenot takes low and away. 2 hits on the day for Fontenot. 13 apiece for these 2 participants. To center field. Haynes broke back, now on the way in, and he squeezes the final out. So this lengthy slugfest comes to an end with Carolina in front 13-9. They close bracket play a perfect 3-0. We'll be back after this with the Raising Cane's performance of the game.